History remembers the grand fortune of the fighter who dismantled Jake Paul. A single blow broke a jaw in 2 spots. The next destroyed a prideful legacy before all of humanity. On December 19, 2025, Anthony Joshua did not merely defeat his loud opponent. The champion systematically dismantled a modern internet empire, piece by painful piece. That concluding knockout strike sent literal tremors far beyond the arena walls of Miami. It served as a grim record that elite combat has distinct tiers, and this champion resides at the highest peak. Yet the sheer brutality of that clash yielded an unprecedented fortune for the victor, a staggering sum of nearly $100 million for less than 18 minutes in the ring. This chronicles a key mystery. What sort of existence is built upon such calculated destruction? How does a premier gladiator of our era, who crushes bones for his wealth, truly distribute his vast riches? Our historical report now uncovers the massive estates of this champion, his multi-million-dollar timepiece vault, and his lineup of premier automobiles, alongside the quiet commercial kingdom that places Anthony Joshua among the wealthiest competitors in our history. This record transcends mere monetary gain. It documents the absolute influence gained by crushing a modern global icon. Let us explore the singular financial venture that truly distinguishes this man from every other pugilist in history. The evening of December 19, 2025 was heavy with coastal air and massive egos. The famous arena in Miami served as the designated theater for this historic clash. The chaotic internet-built realm of the challenger met the traditional champion-bred heritage of Anthony Joshua. Officially recorded as Judgment Day, this clash was far grander than a simple sport. It was a true referendum on boxing itself. Could a mere online entertainer, despite his training, hope to survive against a legendary 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world? Archives reveal a psychological campaign of massive scale, led by the theatrical challenger. He acted with sheer defiance, boldly claiming his presence outweighed that of the veteran champion. The challenger targeted the champion with insults, hoping to disrupt his legendary composure. In contrast, the champion remained chillingly quiet and utterly unbothered. His rare statements carried grave weight, culminating in a simple, terrifying prophecy delivered directly into the microphones of the gathered press. "You are going to get wrecked." The physical mismatch was equally immense. Official records show the champion at a powerful 243.4 pounds, while his opponent scaled at 216.6. This nearly 27-pound gap, combined with the vast height and reach advantages of the champion, we can see a dark fate was already sealed before the opening bell even rang. The betting houses agreed listing the champion as a massive 12-to-1 favorite. This ceased to be a contest, becoming an execution. As the opening round commenced, the sheer imbalance of this struggle became instantly obvious to all. The champion immediately claimed the canvas center, like a conqueror securing his land. The challenger, stripped of his arrogance, retreated instantly, circling desperately in a failed bid to maintain safe distance. The initial round served as a supreme demonstration of classic heavyweight boxing. The veteran used his devastating lead hand to command tempo, repeatedly jolting the opponent's guard and completely disrupting any strategy the online star attempted. Every desperate attack by the challenger was either caught on the champion's guard or easily avoided with masterclass movement. It stood as a masterclass in elite spatial control. A champion teaching an absolute novice a brutal, painful lesson. By rounds 3 and 4, raw desperation slowly crept into Jake Paul's movements. He desperately tried closing the distance to force a wild brawl, but his footwork completely betrayed him. He stumbled awkwardly multiple times, not because of heavy punches, but from frantically lunging into Anthony Joshua's massive reach. He constantly tried clinching, grabbing onto Joshua to smother the champion's relentless offense. A desperate tactic from an entirely overwhelmed fighter. But Joshua proved too strong, easily shoving him away and resetting. The crowd grew restless, sensing the inevitable end. Joshua was not just winning. He was dissecting him. Round 5 marked the true beginning of the end. A devastating body shot from the champion visibly crippled Paul. Moments later, a blistering right hand sent him crashing to the canvas for the very first time. The challenger showed real heart beating the count, but a follow-up barrage dropped him again right before the bell. The predator instinct in Joshua had completely taken over. The 6th round was a mere formality. A thunderous right uppercut snapped Paul's head back, leaving him utterly defenseless. One final devastating right hand sent the challenger crashing down for the 3rd and definitive time. Referee Christopher Young immediately waved off the contest, skipping the count entirely. The king had destroyed the court jester. As we reporters noted back then, sanity had finally been restored to the sport of boxing. In the immediate aftermath, the reality of both men could not have been more starkly different. For victorious Joshua, it was simply business as usual. He stayed classily professional, extending his respect by saying his opponent had finally faced a genuine fighter tonight, Joshua remarked, saluting Paul's toughness while validating his elite pedigree. This massive win salvaged his legacy after that devastating shock defeat to Daniel Dubois earlier that year, instantly restoring his path toward historic clashes with giants like Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. But for Paul, the reality was far bleaker. Waking up in sterile hospital rooms, surrounded by X-ray machines, that ultimate punch did more than just knock him out. It physically shattered his jaw in 2 separate places, leading him to share the horrifying X-rays with the world, exposing deep, clean fractures that demanded urgent, complex reconstructive surgery, which required installing 2 permanent titanium plates just to bind his jaw together. The agony and public humiliation were absolute. Images emerged from his hospital bed, showing a bloody, swollen face and severely misaligned teeth. For an influencer whose entire brand relied on appearance, this was the ultimate historical humbling. Confined to a strictly liquid diet for 7 days, his athletic body was now as shattered as his monumental pride. He openly confessed, quote, "I got my ass kicked. Anthony is a great fighter." While the defeated star contemplated his long recovery, Joshua was staring at his bank account. The total payout for this blockbuster Netflix broadcast reached a staggering $187 million. With a nearly equal split, Joshua secured a massive guaranteed payout, estimated at approximately $94 million. Let that unimaginable figure fully sink in. For under 18 minutes of ring time, Joshua secured an amount most human could never hope to accumulate in 1,000 lifetimes. This historic payday instantly propelled his lifetime career earnings into a legendary, rarefied atmosphere. It was the historic prize for taking a monumental risk, risking his gold-plated legacy against an opponent whom boxing purists claimed had no business sharing his ring. Yet in combat sports, chaos always breeds coin, and this particular battle generated an absolute mountain of it. This $94 million was no mere paycheck. It fueled a massive global empire forged on sheer, raw, knockout power. That legendary $94 million treasury from the Jake Paul showdown represents but a single historic chapter in the massive empire of Anthony Joshua. This is the colossal wealth that dominates news cycles globally. Though AJ has not reached billionaire status just yet, his ultimate dream remains clear: to command a 10-figure fortune. As he once declared to British GQ, it is difficult but entirely achievable. Studying his ledger, you and I would be fools to doubt his financial destiny. By 2025, historians and analysts appraised Anthony Joshua's vast personal fortune between $150 million and $261 million. His total prize winnings have shattered the $275 million mark, cementing his status among the most lucrative gladiators in history. By what methods did he assemble such colossal wealth? This was a calculated ascent, forged through highly lucrative championship encounters. During 2017, his historic duel against Vladimir Klitschko secured $17 million, marking his coronation as the ultimate cash king of the division. From that point, his revenue escalated. Even when vanquished, he secured millions. But his legendary rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. truly demonstrated his commercial supremacy. Traveling to Saudi Arabia for the legendary 2019 battle, AJ conquered his foe, leaving with a staggering $57.5 million. His 2024 exhibition against mixed martial arts icon Francis Ngannou yielded even greater treasures. By delivering a devastating two-round knockout to the formidable heavyweight, Joshua secured a massive $50 million. Yet his most brilliant commercial maneuver transpired far beyond the borders of the squared circle. Around 2022, when AJ finalized a historic multi-year agreement with the broadcaster DAZN, this monumental sports alliance was valued deep in the nine-figure tier. This went far beyond a traditional media contract under the covenant. He ascended to global brand ambassador, a chief corporate advisor, and a powerful equity owner. This was pure mastermind strategy. This changed his destiny from hired fighter to corporate partner, no longer merely drawing paychecks from the network. He built wealth alongside them. A classic transition from a paid athlete to an equity holder. This maneuver guarantees his grand financial empire will flourish long after his final boxing bell rings. For many seasons, the chronicle of Anthony Joshua was one of surprising quiet modesty. A giant who held the unified heavyweight throne, earning millions with every performance, yet chose to reside in a modest North London apartment with his beloved mother. This humble posture won the deep affection of working people across the globe. Yet behind this modest shield, he silently built a massive real estate kingdom, brick by brick. Operating through 258 Investments, he systematically routed immense fight earnings directly into prime real estate holdings. Records reveal a vast empire of commercial and residential estates, with reports estimating its worth between $200 million and $250 million. Every acquisition was a highly calculated move. Looking back at his grand strategy, Joshua poured nearly $40 million into acquiring a massive 301,000 square foot commercial empire out in Hertfordshire, a site that once served as the central fortress for oil titan BP. Next, the champion set his sights on the crown jewel of London's West End. In a monumental transaction, his investment firm dropped an estimated $25 million to lock down a prime mixed-use building on Mayfair's New Bond Street. Right next door, he claimed another piece of Mayfair history for a cool $20 million. Records also show a major Baker Street property under his name, acquired for a staggering $35 million. His conquests quickly expanded internationally. He soon secured a magnificent $1.2 million penthouse deep in Oman's Sultan Haitham city, planting his flag as both a resident and major investor in this luxury oasis. The records describe breathtaking 360-degree panoramic views, a private spa, and a custom training gym tailored entirely to his champion standards. Yet he stayed true to his origins, holding vast residential lands in North London and his native Watford, securing his family lineage for generations to come. This calculated build stands in stark contrast to the reckless spending of his peers. Joshua laid his empire on concrete foundations, conquering one multi-million-dollar estate at a time. A king earning hundreds of millions of dollars is bound to gather grand trophies of his reign. For Anthony Joshua, these symbols are forged in carbon fiber, polished steel, and flawless diamonds. His vault of machines and timepieces is precisely what history demands, a spectacular display of raw dominance and absolute wealth. Consider his legendary stables first. The champion's fleet is a multi-million-dollar assembly that reflects his colossal presence. The centerpiece of this fleet is a bespoke Range Rover SV autobiography, built exclusively for him by the manufacturer's elite design division. Its iron shell is coated in a custom dark hue named World Champion Graphite. Inside, the personal touches take center stage. His personal crest is engraved on the metal door plates and display badges, The ancestral crest adorns the structural pillars, while his initials are stitched deep into the leather headrests. Even the inner door handles bear a quiet tribute to his craft, finely etched with miniature boxing gloves. Worth well over $200,000, it is an armored fortress on wheels. Yet a single customized beast was not enough. Flanking that machine stands the ultimate symbol of elite automotive royalty, a Rolls-Royce Phantom, with a value soaring past $800,000. His lineup is bolstered by a high-speed Jaguar XJR and the brutal Mercedes AMG C63S. Every machine marks a milestone in his history. Look to his wrists and the tale grows even grander. Anthony Joshua's treasury is anchored by an ultimate masterpiece, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Black Panther Flying Tourbillon. This is no mere timepiece. It is mechanical art, a historic union of legendary Swiss craftsmanship and marvel. The face displays an incredibly detailed, hand-painted white gold sculpture of the Black Panther. With only 250 units in existence, this relic commanded a starting price of $160,000. Our archives show Joshua was among the absolute first to obtain one, displaying the prize directly to his millions of followers online, a timepiece radiating absolute power, matching the immense stature of this modern titan. When we look closely at his visible monuments of wealth, the true engine of the Joshua Empire operates silently in the shadows. Here the champion steps out of the ring and transforms into a corporate conqueror. The nerve center of his vast operation remains his management firm, 258 Management. The name serves as a declaration of war, representing an obsession to push far beyond normal limits. Through this firm, Joshua seized absolute dominion over his fate. No longer just the soldier, he became the general. Initially built to guide his own career, the enterprise rapidly transformed into something greater. It currently commands a formidable legion of elite fighters, including Ben Whittaker and Ramla Ali. The strategy was masterfully executed. By deploying his massive influence, he began shaping the next generation of gladiators, guaranteeing his rule over the sport continues long after he hangs up the gloves. Far beyond management, Joshua forged an alliance with some of the most powerful global corporations. His unblemished reputation and iron discipline made him an irresistible vanguard. Chronicles estimate he secures over $8 million annually from endorsement contracts, partnering with commercial empires like Under Armour, Hugo Boss, and Jaguar Land Rover. Yet the most profound chapter of his legacy is his crusade to teach others how to protect their gold. In an arena where fallen kings usually lose everything, Joshua resolved to rewrite history entirely. Initiating a historic alliance, his company united with Evelyn Partners, a premier wealth management firm in the United Kingdom, establishing a financial fortress for professional fighters. It provides vital counsel on securing assets, navigating debts, and building multi-generational wealth. As the champion himself once declared, an athlete's time is fleeting. You must protect your future before the fire fades. Observe closely with me. This is his strategy beyond the battlefield. He does not merely hoard treasure. He is constructing an empire designed to shield and elevate his fellow warriors. A silent, calculated strike. A masterful campaign, choosing eternal legacy over fleeting fame. Guaranteeing his shadow looms over generations. From his humble origin in Watford to the conqueror who dismantled the world's greatest combatants, Joshua has forged a dynasty upon iron discipline and an insatiable hunger for power. His journey stands as a monument of controlled fury, masterfully executed within the Colosseum and the boardroom. The immense fortunes, the vast domains of land he now possesses, and his treasury of riches are the direct spoils of a ruthless intellect very few command. His oath to ascend as a billionaire appears to be an absolute inevitability rather than a simple fantasy. With his treasury already overflowing with hundreds of millions of dollars and his dominion expanding by the day, the only question remaining is when. What do you think will Joshua truly become boxing's first billionaire king. Share your own theories in the grand archives down below. To uncover more legendary chronicles of how the world's ultimate champions built and spent their massive fortunes, seal your oath with a like and subscribe to this chronicle.